If you're unfamiliar with the competitive Pokemon scene, you might not understand why every single Pokemon player is excited about Pokemon Champions. And to put it into simpler terms, this game could potentially change the entire competitive scene. Here's why. Pokemon Champions is the latest battle simulator developed by Pokemon Works, the joint venture between the Pokemon Company and ILCA to make side games like Pokemon Home and Pokemon Sleep. This isn't Pokemon's first battle simulator. Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Coliseum, and Pokemon Battle Revolutions all existed, having its own game plot and tournament modes. These games were essentially a simulator for you to connect your game to the TV and play 3D Pokemon battles. But since these games got cancelled after Gen 4, and with the DS's improved capability for Wi-Fi battles, there was essentially no need for a battle simulator, and if you wanted to battle, you can very easily do so in-game. But that doesn't mean there's no demand for a battle simulator. In fact, as more and more people got into competitive Pokemon, the demand of a true battle simulator just kept on increasing. And that's to do with building a team. Training a competitive team is all about numbers. Leveling them up, EV training, breeding them for the right natures and IVs. It takes hours, days even, to build a competitive team from scratch. And after all that, you can finally begin the battle. But is the time and effort even worth it at this point? And that's why Pokemon Showdown is used by over 99% of players to play competitive Pokemon. All you need is a few minutes to build a team and click play to immediately start battling. Don't like how your Pokemon plays? Change their build and try again. Want to try another Pokemon? Delete them and choose another. Showdown is simply so easy to use, up to the point there's literally no reason to play on the actual games unless you're competing in a tournament. I'm not here to talk about the genning discourse because it's not the scope of the video, but my point is, why would you use the official product when the third-party software is superior in pretty much every possible way? Now let's get back to Pokemon Champions. From what we know so far, Pokemon Champions is seemingly being developed with competitive play in mind. And with how the VGC scene has been reaching new player peaks in recent events, I'm genuinely not surprised. Pokemon Home connectivity makes it so you can use your competitively built viable Pokemon for the main series games. And the game being available on Android and iOS means that you don't need your Switch to play online, something that's never been done before by Game Freak. With the success of TCG Pocket, I wouldn't be surprised if the Pokemon Company were planning on using Pokemon Champions as a way to attract new players into the competitive scene. From my point of view, the positioning of the game seems to be a direct competitor with Pokemon Showdown. They both have ranked ladders, and you can basically play both of them on any device. The main difference lies between team building and battle animations. I honestly doubt they'll allow you to alter Pokemon EVs and natures with sliders like Showdown. You'll probably be able to use training facilities or buy battle items from an in-game shop, but that's probably it, to be honest. You'll still mainly be using your competitively built Pokemon for the main series, but I'll happily be wrong. On the other hand, the ability to play official online ladders with 3D battle animations is something Showdown likely can't replicate, and is something I personally am very looking forward to. The main kicker, however, has nothing to do with battle simulation, but rather the official competitive Pokemon format. VGC has always been a format played on the mainline games, but with Pokemon Champions, now there's an opportunity to separate VGC to become its own game. And with this change, there are now tons of possibilities for new VGC regulations, as it's no longer bound by the limitations of the games. Pokemon like Incineroar or Rillaboom were not available in the earlier regulations of Scarlet and Violet VGC, and they couldn't, because they were part of the Dexit crew before the DLC. And then, in the trailer, we see that both Mega Evolutions and Terastallization are used on the field at the same time, something that's not possible in Scarlet and Violet, because Mega Evolutions are not programmed in those games. If Pokemon Champions becomes the official platform to play VGC, none of these hard limitations would be concerned, and we could be seeing all types of different formats. You could have a format with only low base stat total Pokemon, or only Pokemon with low usage rates. And in terms of gimmicks, they could have both Mega and Terra in the same format, and then disable one of them in the next. Or just take a leaf out of the anime and do a bring 4 gimmick use 1 format. There's so much potential for the Pokemon Company to play with here. Not to mention, this would also be a perfect opportunity to release competitive-centered features like the replay system or tournament usage stats, which would greatly help players improve and learn how to play. Anyways, these are all my personal thoughts, and I don't know, I might be a little bit too optimistic. After all, this is the Pokemon Company we're talking about. But what do you guys think? Could this be the official Pokemon Showdown we've all been waiting for? Is this a brand new era of competitive battling for the new season? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for listening to me yap about Pokemon Champions. I've been getting into competitive Pokemon recently, and I'm just so excited for the scene in general. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want more.